Alright, what's up Dragon Brood? Today we're taking a look at Mono Green, but mostly because of two cards I want to look at, and I think they're gonna surprise you just a little bit. Now I found a few different people playing with stuff that kind of led me down this road, and one of them is a channel that goes by Symphoneers, I believe. So I just kind of wanted to point that out, but the first card is Feral Encounter. Now, any of you who follow me will know that from the couple of podcasts I'm on, we talked about this card, and it seems so out of whack that it doesn't really work the way we want it to, but it is another fight spell that could be pretty good. Actually, a bite spell, not even a fight, and it can get us access to more cards, which can help, as that's a problem Mono Green deals with. Another is seeing a few people playing Mono Green deciding they want to play Obstinate Baloth. I actually like this for a couple of reasons. We're seeing a few more discard spells from black lately on the ladder. Additionally, this is really good against Mono Red, being both a 4/4 that's hard for them to deal with, and letting you gain 4 life. So this fills a few spots that I think are pretty good. Now the rest of this is going to be, how do we get to our bigger creatures so that we can keep doing big green things? So we're going to start with the Evolving Adaptive. This is an early creature, lets us get bigger over the course of the game. We're going to be playing sizable bodies. Hopefully it works out. Also, Fang of Shigeki. This made it into several people's Mono Green lists, and this feels a little silly, but if we are going to be playing different types of fight spells, then this kind of makes sense to let us take down other things, and it is an early creature we can play that your opponent usually isn't going to want to block unless they're trading with some other 1/1 token. We're going to be playing some Quirion Beastcaller because this just gets bigger over time, so we like that. Another thing to help us cast our creatures is going to be Cemetery Prowler. Also removing stuff from the opponent's yard, which could be pretty relevant. So I like what this is bringing to the table. We're also going to try some Doomscar Warrior to help us kind of keep our hands stocked, because again, that's one of the issues we have with Mono Green. Speaking of which, we are going to be playing Tribute to the World Tree. I'm going to probably be experimenting with 2 to 3 copies throughout the video, and we'll see where we land. But again, being able to get bigger creatures, being able to get more cards, this just checks a lot of boxes for us. And then to round things out, we're going to be playing a Defiler of Vigor. Again, growing our team, trying to get across the finish line. We are going to play a copy of Thrun because this is just hard to remove, and I don't play with Thrun enough, so I'm just jamming it in here. And Gruff Triplets. Mostly because there are a lot of sweepers and such, so if we can get to a situation where we can maybe just play the triplets and leave some back, then we actually have some good follow-up, so I like this. Otherwise, this is the bulk of what we're playing. If you want the full deck list, as always, it'll be at the end of the video. Feel free to check it out. Or you can go down to the description below, look for the blue arrows. It'll take you to our Moxfield link where you can see today's deck and a pile of other stuff that's ready to go for standard regardless of what type of deck you like. But for now, let's go see if these couple of new cards really do what we want them to do. All right, let's do it. Obviously, we want more mana, but this is not a terrible start if we don't have the mana right offhand. Alright, good news. Nothing dies immediately, and we did find a third land, which hopefully will help. Get our attacks on. Please don't kill our Scrap Gorger. Okay, that's awesome. We can live with that. Let's go here. Oh, I can't do that. What am I... Wait. I grabbed the wrong card. What am I doing? I'm going to put the backup counters here, I think. And just get in there. Alright. We will take another Doomscar Warrior, I think. As much as having a land to eventually play triplets would be cool, I think this is just... Oh, that sucks. No attacks. Not a lot we can do about that, but we could attack with both, let them kill one, play Thrun. That's not the worst thing. I could actually probably live with that, to be honest. Put them to 11. Assume we're losing the Doomscar Warrior. Play Thrun and just be set up for next turn. Put a counter on our Scrap Gorger. That's not super impressive, but not garbage either. Question though is, I don't know if we even need to do that. Are we better just being on defense? Yeah, let's wait. No attacks. Actually, maybe we do attack. Put them at 11. We don't get to block Glissa, so they would get a card. Yeah, let's go. Maybe they kill adaptive. I don't know. Okay, cool. They're, okay, I was going to say, you're just going to let us have a card and save a point? But sure. That makes more sense. That's the block I expected them to make. All right, down to 10. And then depending on if we draw land, we could play triplets. If not, we could play Doomscar Warrior on Thrun. Get another creature or a land. Oh, if they have a green fight spell, though. Oh, that would suck. Okay, they didn't, it doesn't look like. Okay, so that's a little bit lucky. Because they could still use a fight spell from Glissa. Or on Glissa. That would suck. That would be really, really bad for us. And it can be blocked by Glissa, because Glissa happens to be green. However, on our turn, Thrun has Indestructible. So we kind of get to just attack. However. Okay, let's see what's up. Beast Caller doesn't really change anything here. So now it's just, do I want Thrun to get in by himself with the counters from the Doomscar Warrior to help us find something? Or do we want to just attack with Thrun, let him do his thing, then play something after the fact? That doesn't feel as good. I think we're just doing this. Yeah. And we'll just see what the opponent has going on here. Alright. Going for it. I mean, if they got something, they got something. I can't do nothing about it. It's indestructible right now, so sure. We get to look at 6 cards, and the opponent's going to 4. Don't hate it. Tell you that. I think we just take a land and try to go for Gruff Triplets at this point. Because none of these are that exciting otherwise. I think I'll just take the Myrics. In the turn. I guess I could have played the Beast Caller there. Though, to be fair, if they have any real card here, it's going to be like a removal and then something like Gix's Command, if I were guessing. So then I'm just left with the Doomscar Warrior. I mean, that would make a lot of sense. I mean, I'm probably not blocking. You're at 4. Alright, that was it. Yeah, the way the game progressed, I feel like I probably should have played the Beast Caller there. I'm not totally sure, but it feels like I probably should have, to be honest. I probably could have got away with that. But either way, we won the match. Okay, so we get to see if Feral Encounter is going to do something this time. I mean, I said, I guess I would just turn 1 Fang, turn 2 Scrap Forger looking at this hand. So, let's see. Also, depending on if they just kill our stuff, we may not get to do any of these things. And it's just pie in the sky thoughts. These are almost retro sleeves at this point, but it is really cool art. I always like that. Alright, let's see. We might just be up against some type of mono-white control-y thing, and usually we'll find out if they cast Farmhand here or not. Nope, it is a Veteran. Okay. Now we do get put into a position a little bit on if we want to use the encounter or not. I think we go here. No attacks. I mean, they might play like Cathar or some such. But if so, we're kind of okay with that. They attack, I actually don't think I would block here. Interestingly enough. Because even if we just play, well, playing Prowler here doesn't do much because there's nothing in the yard yet. I mean, we could just play Obstinate Baloth, which is a 4/4 as well. Yeah, opponents really deciding here. They're fighting for their life. They're being put in the blender, trying to figure out if they want to attack and give one of these creatures up to our Shigeki. Now, here's an interesting call because they opted to attack, which means they're willing to give that up. So do I care that they have it? See, now we're in this weird, I know what you know, kind of weird box. I think we're just going to take it here, knowing that we're going to gain 4 back from a Baloth. I think we just do this and pass. And then next turn, we can maybe have some options with the Feral Encounter or whatever if we want to. Now, it's funny that these don't get pumped because they're core soldiers and not humans, so they don't really get a benefit from the Vanguard. And if we get a land, we could kill something with the Feral Encounter, and we could then play Prowler and steal something, and then go for a big Gruff Triplets, which could be amusing. Asking for a lot there. This would be nice, too, if it was creature or land that you could play. That would be kind of nice, but it's just creature. Okay, we did get our land. So now there's an interesting thing here. Do we care more to get rid of the Coppercoat Vanguard or the Veterans? I feel like Vanguard is the answer. Just because. Ooh, wow. I guess we take Thrun, huh? No, we don't get to cast either of these, though. We would just lose it, right? You may cast exile card this turn. Alright, I guess I'll take a Beast Caller. I'd rather not just waste it. And then go to combat. Target creature I control shoots this thing. Then I can attack with Obstinate Baloth. And if they want to trade one of the veterans, we're okay with that. Yep, works for me. In the turn. They're obviously waiting on a third mana, either for Cathars or something here. Alright, let's exile a thing. Get rid of their creatures so we don't have to worry about that coming back later with its counters. This is awesome. Yep. Get our attacks in. Okay, I don't think the opponent, even if they get their third land here, has much going on. Wow, that's gross. Alright. We're just going to pile on the triplets then. Sure, that can go away. Who cares? Yeah, now even the little Shigeki can get in there. We don't care. Probably should have attacked with it last turn. Wow, the opponent had nothing else to play that cost 2 mana. The only thing I can consider is our hand was some combination of like Cathars, the other veteran, and maybe Adeline. You know, but we actually had cards that would have been okay against those. So it's not even bad if those would have existed. We just played the way we did because they didn't have any of them on the battlefield. Alright, let's keep it. Ooh, this is gonna be tough. Alright, we're gonna need you to do some work, little Shigeki Fang. I would say Shigeki Fang, it's obviously Fang of Shigeki. Well, we can't block a Phoenix Chick, so that's out of the question. You know what, though? In the festivities there, we can live with. That's not the worst thing. Getting double Feral Encounter, though, is not good in this fight. Maybe we can find an Obstinate Baloth along the way, because I feel like that's going to be important. Yep. Kills our creature. Attack for 4. I mean, they might just try to get a dragon right now. I mean, that would be real. And I would not blame them one bit. Yeah, this is going to be tough. Unless we get... Man, it's probably going to have to be... I don't even know. Like, we're going to... Oh, they had another one? Alright, GG's. We're dead. We can just move on from here. This is a pretty easy mulligan. Alright, we'll keep this. I'm not even sure what to do with this. I guess we get rid of Thrun? I don't know. I mean, against this deck, I probably want to keep Thrun. That was... I mean, we're so far away from casting it, though. But we probably should have still kept it. This is probably just eating a removal card here. Yep, there's a binding. Not a huge surprise. Alright. In the turn. Another binding, huh? I guess I'll try to protect this time. It's not like the best card to protect, but if the opponent's using bindings here, it feels like they don't have sweepers. And if that's the case, then we might as well just try to fight with whatever we can get our hands on, you know? They got something here. I mean, I guess we gotta try. If they have something, they have something. Alright, cool. We get to go find a land. Or a Gruff Triplets. Or a Cemetery Prowler. Huh. We're still 2 mana away from casting the Triplets. I guess we have to take the Prowler? Not the best thing, but I guess we'll take it. Would have liked to have had the Triplets, but we're likely just getting hit with a Sunfall anyway. And if so, it's fine. I mean, like, it's not great, but fine. We'll get rid of these and be able to have a 2/2. But then we could play Prowler and at least protect it, so that's something. Ooh, alright. 4, 12. If they have, like, a Wandering Emperor. Okay. Let's see what's up. Oh, they didn't have it. Wow. Alright. That was highly unexpected. Crap. I don't know what to do now. I literally just went through the attack step thinking they were going to play something. I mean, I guess we take an adaptive? Question mark? Okay. I mean, not sure what else I'm going to do here. In the turn, I'm trying to think, like, maybe they play Angel here? Try to shoot something? Oh, that guy. Okay. This does kind of suck, because this is when it dies as well, right? When it enters the battlefield or dies, you remove X counters from a permanent. Or target creature gets -X. Alright. Okay. Sadly, alright, do we save this? Because then if this goes to the graveyard, because this can remove any card, right? Exile another card. So they would be able to give something else -4 or remove 4 counters if we were to fight that and it died. This is such a tough call. Alright, I think we're going to do it. I guess it doesn't really matter. It just gets hexproof. That's all that matters here. I feel like I'm supposed to let that die for some reason, though. Alright. So now, if we fight, it can only give something -2, which means we just lose the adaptive. And that seems fine. Alright, I guess this is what we get. Wow. These were not the best draws this game. Just making sure there's nothing crazy that happens here, so sure. This gets to deal damage to that. I guess I should have played the adaptive and got another point here. Knowing they could minus something. Yeah, that's a little bit of a mistake. Actually, a definite mistake. Not even a little bit of one. Being honest. Alright. It leaves them at 3 instead of at 2. I have no idea how big of a difference. Ooh, Besaju's nice, though. Alright, we'll take that. And I feel like I can safely play this. Then we get this. Oh, well, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess if they were to get a Sunfall and have a land, that would be annoying. Well, if we don't play this, we lose it anyway, so we might as well. There's no point to not playing it, actually. Yeah. No need to compound mistakes there. But the opponent being at 2 instead of 3 could matter. Alright. We got a little lucky, I think. Yeah, that's a case where I think just we got the Tyvar stands when it mattered. And that made all the difference in the game. Really, that and the Doomscar Warrior helped. But yeah, I don't think that matchup's going to go like that every time. We get to go first. All right. Let's see if any of these live. That's step 1. Opponent's username is Mark Rules. Kind of reminds me, there's a dude I found during the pandemic who was like a indie rapper, I guess you call him. I think he goes by Mercules, which I thought was like a great name. All right, this is going to grow the adaptive, get in for 2. I mean, interestingly, if we get a land, we could play Warrior. If not, we play Prowler. They might just kill our Scrap Gorger here, and if so, that hurts. But we can't really do much about it. They're going to let us keep the Scrap Gorger. Okay, that works for us, actually. Feel like we got away with a little something there. I'm going to go ahead and use... Well, no, we can't, because then we won't have anything to remove. That sucks. All right, well, got to do this. Okay, pass the turn. Yeah, that would have been bad if I'd removed a Scrap Gorge. I have no value on my Prowler. Alright. If they only have Make Disappear, then we still get to resolve this. Oh, they don't even have a Make Disappear. Well, that's something to know. Alright. Let's get in there and try to get a card. Nothing to remove. We hit them for 4. Oh, bruh, are you serious? I mean, I guess we'll take the Fang because we're already holding on to Barrel Encounter, I suppose. I mean, what are the odds that they're going to depopulate? Let's go for it. I mean, they could just play a white land and depopulate. Yep, okay. They didn't, so we got a little lucky there. Next option, Wandering Emperor gets a Doomscar Warrior. That'd be okay, I guess. I wouldn't love it. This only deals damage to creatures, not planeswalkers. Alright, let's do it. Wow, there's not even a Wandering Emperor? What? What do they have? I guess I'm going to take this, because at least if I draw a land, I could... Okay. I mean, sure. I mean, if they've done nothing else, then it's at least Sunfall, right? What? These are the times I'm curious, right? Because if they've done nothing else but just kill a thing, what hand do you keep where you only have Virtue to play? And access to, I'm assuming, at least 3 of the 4 lands were already in hand. What hand are you keeping there that you're not casting anything else? Like, I'm assuming there's Sunfalls, and maybe they just didn't get to a 5th land or something, but even that's kind of ballsy in a world of mono red to be like, okay, I can kill 1 thing and gain 3, and then hopefully get to 5 mana and Sunfall or whatever. Like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. 4 land, 3 Shigeki. That's a thing. Let's mulligan that away. Alright, this is better. Ooh, boy. If we keep this, what are we getting rid of? Part of me says we should be getting rid of the Fang. But you know what? I'm not. I'm going to put a forest back. Hope I don't draw the other Merrick's as my land, which now, because I said it, I probably will. And I'm just going to bank on some creatures living. Oh, against Mono, that was a terrible decision. Terrible decision. I'm going to get so wrecked for this, and I deserve it. Okay, I thought maybe I could get him to use a burn spell on that. Here's the good news, though. They might just play like a 2-mana creature And we get to keep our Scrap Gorger and get to play a Cemetery Prowler. All right, cool. That's not the worst thing. And it's a thing that can't even block. So that's kind of cool. Let's go for this. No attacks. I'd be willing to block with Feldon if something happened to our Prowler here. I mean, block Fang with Feldon. Or block Feldon with Fang. Y'all know what I'm saying. Words are hard when you've recorded a bunch for the day. Alright, yeah. Put it to the test. Let's see what happens. Probably just going to rage or something here. Nope, you're going to play with Fire It. Well, you should have done that before you attack, opponent. I guess maybe there was a chance they thought we might block with Prowler, and then you get to kill a Prowler or something. Yeah, you got it, friend. That is awesome sauce for us. So now we do have a creature in the graveyard. So I'm just going to attack with the Prowler, which lets me go to my graveyard and remove this. They take 3. We're going to go ahead and take this opportunity. Ooh, wait, actually. I was realizing we could Beast Caller into Scrap Gorger and then be able to do either of these. I kind of like that. And then we could still do this next turn. I was just going to Obstinate Baloth straight up, but I'm going to gamble a little bit here. Let's have some fun. Real talk, I think Baloth is the right play here, y'all. So generally speaking, you should probably be doing Baloth more often, but just going to take a chance here, because if they do kill the Beast Caller, then we can just move the counters to something else. And if not, we have all this mana available that who knows what we can do. Also, if one of our creatures dies, we attack. We could play these cheaper, so, you know, lots of things could happen here. All right, they have Invasion of Tarkir, which looks like they can't play here. Is this what we're supposed to block? Let them see 3 cards? Yeah, sure. I'm blocking here. Just because of the Prowler situation along with these, I think is what I'm aiming for. Let's go ahead and put the counters on the Prowler. Just make it even harder for them to kill it. All right. That doesn't hurt us too much. Okay. So now if we attack with the Prowler, we get to remove something from the graveyard. Means we get to take out the Chandra here. So we'll go ahead and remove that Feldon. Oh, did these not get any cheaper? For each card type. I thought it was for each creature. Oh, that was a mistake. Damn it. For some reason, I don't know why I thought that was different, y'all. That was stupid. Either way, this is mostly fine, but amusing nonetheless. Go to my graveyard. Do I want to remove a creature? Sure. So I can get another creature type under the Prowler later. That was dumb. I guess it kind of works out anyway, though, realistically, because I really want to play this on the turn. I can attack the opponent with it and get extra value with the backup triggers. And we're at 18, so this isn't really a risk right now. And Prowler's 4/5 already did its dirty work for the most part. All right, you got a big Devastator. That's 5. I go to 13. Ooh, we could fight. Oh, we don't have quite enough to fight with yet. Well, if we find a land, we can't. Well, that's weird. Yeah, this doesn't quite work out the way we want to. We kind of have to do that next turn. All right, let's put the counter, I guess, still on the Cemetery Prowler. Attack, attack, attack. Man, graveyards are clear. We will get... I don't even think we need the land. I mean, might as well just get the other Doomscar Warrior, I guess. Actually, if we're going to try to kill that, I guess I'd want the land here. Because the plan is going to be kill the Devastator. Or we probably get into trouble. I think we just kill the Devastator anyway. We give up the value on this card. Oh, wait, no. You can't do that because it's at the beginning of the next combat phase this turn. So you can't even use this post-combat. All right. That's a little tough, but we'll deal with it. We're at 13. I mean, maybe they could kill us. I don't know how it would happen. Oh, not like that, for sure. Well, that's just them giving up, I think, here. All right. We'll block here. We'll block here. We'll block here. Feel free to rage something, if you will. Nope. Things just die. All right. Well, we're at 8, and they have 1 card. I think we're safe. Yep. Down to 5. GG's. Oh, and we got our triplets, but don't really need it here. All right. Cool. We will take that. That is a solid win against Mono Red. Okay, so I'm not sold. Like, here's my problem. I think the Fang is not great. It kind of does what we want it to do, but it's also not aggressive enough that when it's the only thing out there, your opponent rarely wants to waste removal on it or whatever. So then the next thing you play is just going to die anyway. Whereas this was like the 2/1 werewolf dude, or the 2/1 wolf, then that's probably better. I also don't know if how much I want Scrap Gorger as much as I would rather. Now, don't be wrong, removing stuff from the graveyard still has value, still relevant in this format. But I almost would rather just have like a 1/3 thing, just to, like the Loam Speaker, just to have more attack value, and even turning a land into a creature can help. So I feel like I would like that a little bit more and have a better top deck after the sweepers even. Feral Encounter, I think we just have better fight spells. So, like, this card's so tough because I sort of like what it's doing, right? It gives us access to another creature or another card that we can play. It has to be another creature. It does double as a fight spell, so it has extra value, even if you're not fighting, which I do like. But man, I don't know if it's worth playing 4 of them. Maybe it's 3 and you play 2 of some other removal. Because this card always feels bad when you don't get the full value out of it. And then the fact that you can't sometimes do the thing you want to do post-combat, it also has that limiting factor on it. Which, like, it's just designed in just a way that is not great, right? And it feels like we could change any of these things. If it was like any card instead of just a creature, or even if it was like creature or land instead of a creature, right? Or if it could be done at instant speed, or if you just fought when you did it and you get the other thing, right? Like, there's so many little things we could tweak on this that would have made it more powerful. I don't mind Cemetery Prowler. It does its job here. It's a quality blocker. It's vigilance. I'm good with that. Obstinate Baloth. I'm beginning to think we might want 4 of these. Because of the number of Lilianas that exist and the amount of mono red. I think those 2 things make this a potentially viable card we do want. And then I think there's some world where we want more Tyvar stands. Maybe we didn't even draw the Defiler of Vigor, I don't think, the whole video so far. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a minute, and then we're going to time lapse to what the final version of the deck probably should look like. All right, so I figured I would give the new version a go or two, and then we can talk about what we decided it needed to look like. But this is at least an interesting start to this, to test out the newer version. However, we could be in trouble because this looks like it's going to be another domain style deck, which is not going to be good for us. Weird. They played a blush land. That's not something you normally see in the domain deck, so maybe it's not. We'll see. And that is a land that has blue in it, right? Yeah, it is. All right. Oh, okay. That's not what this is at all. Interesting. It's a Bant Tokens list. I can appreciate that. Ooh, what do we do here? I think we got to go with this, right? I could also just not cast anything and let that become a 3. Now we're not doing that. That's crazy. That's crazy talk. Yep, you get another 2/2. 3 blind mice. Alright, they're gonna have a whole pile of 2/2s, I guess. Yep, still not blocking. Mostly because we just have more value to pick up here along the way. And then we'll go ahead and play this. Trigger a billion things. Another Prowler's not really what we're looking for, but that's okay. No attacks. And sadly, they're not putting any creatures in their graveyard, so I kind of am going to have to just attack and let some stuff die to get Prowler value. Oh, looks like they might be aiming to exile a thing. Nope, there's a wedding announcement. They're doing all the token things. And say, I appreciate that. Sounds like my kind of magic. Alright, we're attacking with these duders. Wow, they're not even blocking. Jeez. That hurts my feelings. I just feel disrespected now. Wow, a land deck? That's the best you're bringing to the table? Alright, more 2/2s. Alright, you have some 3/3s that we obviously have to block. Opponent's not into that idea, apparently. Sure, I think. Maybe I should have just blown up the wedding announcement anyway. Alright, I mean, they're going to get their token here, but... Wait, they didn't play anything. Hold on. They didn't cast anything this turn, did they? No. Alright, cool. So we could just get rid of that anyway. Alright, with that growing. So that's good to know. Alright, what type of situation does this lead us to? Go ahead and play the triplets first. Alright. That gets us a bunch of cards. Oh, there we go. There we go. I was thinking I might want to attack with a lot of things. Now, I'm not so sure. Yeah, we're good now. Yeah, that just worked out perfectly. Able to drop the Gruff triplets into this thing, got us 3 cards. One of them being Nissa, and we already had 6 lands because we were able to play the triplets. So yeah, this is just lethal next turn. And with this being at 16, we could have even blocked in a way that we save enough life. So yeah, and even better was having the Trap Breaker, because if we were willing to sacrifice it here, we could get rid of that. Or if they had the mana to play the Virtue, we could have got rid of it along the way. So yeah, this was much better. All right, so taking a look at what we ended up playing, I went a little bit of a different direction. Still ended up keeping a couple of the Feral Encounters, but here's what we're doing. I'm going to explain as we go here, but we have Force in a Pack Leader just because I just thought it was better to have a more aggressive creature. Plus, one of the things I was thinking about is the Evolving Adaptive. If you play one on turn 1, you can at least play a Pack Leader on 2 and still grow the Adaptive and attack, whereas you couldn't do that with the Fang of Shigeki. Bramble Familiar, if we need mana early, it's a 2/2, we can fight with it. If not, later in the game, we can use it to maybe find a Thrun or a Gruff triplets or something which we like. Cosmic Hunger, I went with this as our main fight spell of choice. We're going to play 3 of these in this list, but partly because it also allows us to fight our own creatures. So we could actually deal damage to, say, one of our Gruff triplets tokens at instant speed to grow those others to 6/6s, or possibly bigger if we have counters on them for some reason. So that's a thing we could do, which I actually kind of like having that aspect, which I hadn't considered until I was going through this last round of deck building. Kept 2 Feral Encounters. I do like the access to extra cards or creatures, so that's fine. And it is still another fight spell, so it gives us 5 things that we could fight with. Playing a couple of Outland Liberator because I wanted a few ways to get rid of artifacts and enchantments. And oftentimes, the decks that you don't necessarily like that much are going to be those, I guess we call them the domain list, the control list. So if you do get this out, often they're not going to use anything on their turn, so then you just get a 3/3 that then you can just attack with, and then also keep them off some random enchantments. So it forces them to kind of have to deal with this, which is nice. Still keeping 3 Korean Beast Callers because I think it's just neat. I only played 3 because I do think a lot of times getting the Liberator or the Familiar will be worth more. Just on turn 2 a lot of times. And depending if you're playing against some control decks, you'd rather have those and see what happens. Or heavy removal. Still playing 3 Cemetery Prowler, but I added in 2 Jewel Thief as well. So what I like here is the ability that if we play Jewel Thief on 3 and the creature dies, or the same way if we'd played Prowler and it dies, we wouldn't necessarily get anything, but Jewel Thief at least leaves around a treasure. That would still leave open the ability for playing some of the 4 mana things that we ended up with, which wasn't many actually, as it turns out. 2 Tribute to the World Tree, still being able to get cards and counters is nice. Keeps those little creatures you top deck later still relevant. Obstinate Baloth, I still ended up on just 3. I just couldn't find room to squeeze in enough other ones. And then we went with 2 Thrun Breaker of Silence, because this card's just really nice. I like a lot of what it does. And if Jewel Thief left around a treasure, if I top 1 more land, then I still have 5 mana available, so that still works. And then Gruff Triplets, just because it's a good card to play on its own. If we do end up getting, a Prowler or a Familiar early, just playing this is nice. Then we're playing 1 Ascendant Animist here, just because having the ability to overrun there is super strong. Playing 2 Tyvar Stands, 1 Beseju, 21 Forest, 2 Merrics. That's the final list. So yeah, I think our new version, now admittedly, I only played 1 game with it, so it's just a test. But even just then, seeing the value of those other cards, even with our opponent, if they'd have drawn differently, we still had more answers, I felt like, than we would have had in any other scenario with the previous build. So, I don't know, make of that what you will, but I think it's overall a lot more interesting if you are looking to play Mono Green. Now that said, I don't think Mono Green is necessarily the best way to go, because I think even splashing black gives you access to things like Glissa. You can even get the Restless Cottage, which I think is super good in the control matchups. Splashing red gives you access to a whole bunch of things that Gruul brings to the table. Even white opens up some more doors. So I think green is good. I just don't think mono green is necessarily the best thing you can do. Now, I think our final version is still formidable and will still win a lot of games against things like mono red, even battle mono white because you have bigger bodies. So I think there's a lot going on that's still positive, but at the end of the day, I think you're going to be better off still adding something to your green decks. But I say, hey, if you have all the cards, give that final version a go. I don't think it's actually as bad as you might think. And now for today's card spotlight, we're going to talk about Shaman of the Forgotten Ways. This card is a little bit dirty. I think it's one people forget about. It kind of does the whole thing that Gwynna does, where you get 2 mana to spend on creatures, which is actually mostly fine as a card. But then it has this formidable ability that if you have 8 power worth of creatures, now it's expensive to do, but then if you pay the cost, you actually set people's life total to the number of creatures they have. Now this is interesting because if somebody's playing a sweeper or something, or maybe somebody just swiped the board and it's your turn and nobody has any creatures, right? That becomes a big thing because you're the only one with the creature. Or even if it's just one of those things where you're like, hey, I made a bunch of tokens. My life's still going to be like 25 and everybody else is going to be at 5 or 6, right? Then that becomes a thing. This is a really interesting card and it's not very expensive. You can probably find these under $5 in a lot of places, but it's a cool one that if you kind of forgot about, could be worth considering. And if you do happen to be looking for something else with green and another color, I have a crazy fast Gruul deck that you want to check out that was a whole lot of fun and wins really quickly. I'm going to link that here. But that's all I have for you for now, and we'll see you next time.